Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make another piece of pixel art. This time, it's going to be a Game Boy Advance, since you guys seem to like my Game Boy Color. If you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need black wool, dark grey, light grey, white, and finally, purple wool. Although the purple wool really is optional. For instance, if you want a pink Game Boy, I would grab pink instead of purple. It's up to you. And I would also grab a bed as well, because they're the only colours we're going to need. So once you've got all of your materials and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You're going to want to start out with a row of 26 black wool in a row on the floor. 26 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Excuse me a second whilst I re-inflate my lungs. I really need to work on that. Need to increase the lung capacity. So once you've got your row of 26 black wool, you're going to want to come over to the left hand side, as I like to build from the left. And you're going to want to, from this most left block, do an up left diagonal, followed by 2 blocks going left, giving you a row of 3. You're then going to want to do 2 up left diagonals, so 1 and 2. Then, again, you're going to want to go 2 to the left. 1, 2. Then, you're going to want to do 3 up left diagonals. 1, 2, and 3. Except this time, we're going to, on top of this third diagonal, we're going to go up on top of it by 15. 1, 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then, from the top of this row of 16, we should have a row of 16 there in total. We started with the 1, added 15, simple maths. At least I think it's 15. So, starting from the top here, you're going to want to do 2 upright diagonals. 1, 2. Then, from the second diagonal, you're going to want to go right by 2. 1, 2. Then, you're going to want to do 2 upright diagonals. 1, and 2. Then you're going to want to go right 1. You're then going to want to do another upright diagonal and go right 1. And that is what you want to have for up top here. I realise that I didn't show you the bottom, although it's quite easy. I'll show you that in a second. So that's what you want for the top. And this is what you want for the bottom. I'll show you what we have all together. It's actually quite easy. I'll even rattle it off for you. So we've got a row of 26. Then we went over to the left, up left diagonal, left 2. 2 up left diagonals, left 2. 3 up left diagonals, up 15. 2 up right diagonals, right 2. 2 up right diagonals, right 1. Up right diagonal, right 1. It's quite easy. So once you've done that, we're going to pretty much do the exact same thing on the other side, and then we're going to connect it in the middle, up top. Otherwise, we'd have to count out a row of 26, similar to what we did here. And I don't think anyone wants to do that. So, starting over from this right-hand side now, and again, we're pretty much doing the exact same thing that we did over there. So, starting from this right-hand side, you're going to want to do an upright diagonal, 2 to the right, then 2 upright diagonals, 1 and 2, 2 to the right again, 1, 2. Then you want to do 3 upright diagonals, so 1, 2, and 3. Then, on top of this third diagonal, you're going to want to go up by 15, 1, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this time I'm actually going to show you what we've just done, just in case you may be lagging behind a little bit. And again, just like we did on the other side, upright diagonal, right 2, 2 upright diagonals, right 2, 3 upright diagonals, up 15. Very easy. Pause that if necessary, of course. So coming right back the way up to the top of here, and exactly what we did on that side, we're going to be doing from this top block here, 2 up left diagonals, so 1 and 2. From that second block, you're going to want to go left 2, 1, 2. Then you're going to want to do 2 up left diagonals again, 1 and 2. Left 1. Then another up left diagonal, and then left 1, giving you something which should look like that. I'll show you that top part. And just to rattle this off again, why not? We, from the top there, did 2 up left diagonals, left 2, 2 up left diagonals, left 1, 1 up left diagonal, left one. Very easy. And let me show you what you should just have all in total. There you go. That's what you want to have. It should be nice and symmetrical. So once you have that, pause that if necessary, of course. We're just going to join what we have on the left here to the right here up top to give us a row of 26, except we're going to be doing it one block higher than it is now. So on the left or right hand side, it doesn't really matter. You're going to want to do an up left or up right diagonal, in this case an up right diagonal, and then just drag it over to the other side and connect it diagonally to give you the general shape of our Game Boy, to give you something which should look like that. And you should notice, whilst the diagonals on the bottom section and the top section aren't equal, the two lines of 26 should line up with each other quite nicely. So that's what you want to have. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can go and put in the bumpers. So starting on the left hand side here, the top left hand part of our Game Boy, you're going to want to take out your dark grey, and on top of this first little single black wall that we have here, you're just going to want to place a dark grey there. Then you're going to want to place a dark grey here as well. Then you're going to want to place two light grey right next to that dark grey. Then on top of the two dark grey, or on top of the two light grey, I'm sorry, you want to place two dark grey. Then next to the two dark grey, a light grey. And then you want to, on top of these three blocks here, place three dark grey to give you something which looks like that. And that is just the little bumper on the Game Boy Advance. So that's what you want to have in that position. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, you want to do the exact same thing all the way on this right hand side here. So exactly the same. So starting from this little single block here, where we first started to go diagonally, you're just going to want to do one dark grey, then up left diagonally of that, one dark grey, two to the left, two light grey, then two dark grey on top of the two light grey, followed by one light grey going left, and then just three dark grey right there to give you the other bumper, the right bumper. So that's what you want to have there, exact same thing as we have on the left side. Pause that if necessary. I'll show you both of them in action. Right there. That's what you want to have. Pause that if necessary, of course. Once you've done that, we're going to work on the screen. So take out your purple wool, and we're going to come up to here, this row of 26 that we have up top. You don't need to count it, trust me, it will be 26 if you've got everything else right. And you're going to want to do two lines of purple directly under our row of 26. So you just want to do two rows of 26 purple underneath the row of black 26. So you're just going to want to have something which should look like that, and I'm not going to zoom all the way out, it'll just waste a little bit of time. And then what you want to do on what will be the third row down, starting from the left hand side here, you're going to want to go in three with your purple. So as if you're doing another row, just do three purple going that way. And you're going to want to do the same thing on the other side as well, just do three purple coming in towards the center. So you want to have something which looks like that. What you then want to do, and I'm not even going to attempt the maths, it will be a row of 20. I did it, I'm proud of myself. So what you essentially want to do, sandwiched in between these two rows of three purple, you just want to do a row of what should be 20 black. So you just want to have something which should look like that. What you then want to do is underneath that row of 20 black is you want to do a row that is two bigger either side than the row of 20 black. So you want a row of 24, so just add on two onto each side. So just do in a line like that, and then do in another one. Do in another one. What am I saying? Add in another one. You know what? Doing another one works well, I don't care. So you're just going to want to have something that should look like that, and that is just the top part of the screen. And I noticed that it's getting a little bit dark, so I'm going to cut this out here, and I'll be back once it's a little bit lighter, so in a sec. So this is where I left things off. We've got a general shape, we've got the bumpers done, and we have the top of the screen done. We also have the sun there. How scenic is that? All completely planned. So once you're at this point, once you're three rows deep into the screen, what you're going to want to do is come over to the left hand side here, and from the most end row here, end block on the left, you're going to want to extend this down by 17. So you're going to want to come down by 17, 1, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I always prefer building up. I always find it very awkward to be building down. So once you've done your row of 17, you're going to want to do the exact same thing, just to the right of that row. So just do another row of 17. You don't need to count that out, of course, you just need to copy what you had there on the left. So you're going to want to have something which should look like that. And to make things easy, we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So come over to the other side here, in the most outer row, you're going to come down by 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and of course add another row coming on the inside here, so row of 17. To give you the sides of our screen starting to shape up a little bit, you're going to want to have something which should look like that. Pause that if necessary, of course. So continuing on, coming over to this left side here and working from the bottom, going right, so we're on this second inside row of 17, and going right, you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to go to the right by 4 with your black, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You're then going to do 2 dark grey, 1, 2, then 1 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black, 2 dark grey, 1 black, 1 dark grey, 1 black, 2 dark grey, and then you just want to keep doing black until you hit the other side, giving you something which should look like that. And just in case you're curious what that grey is supposed to be, written just underneath the screen is Nintendo. However, unless this was significantly bigger, which it isn't, and I'm not going to make a bigger one, you can't write that there, so just put something. And that's what that's supposed to be. So once you've done that, you're just going to want to, on top of here, on top of the row that you've basically just created, you're just going to want to do 2 rows of black on the inside of it. So just build up the inside of the screen a little bit, giving you something which should look like... which should look like that. So continuing on, pause that if necessary, of course, always pause if necessary, we're going to build up the bottom of the screen a little bit. So you're going to want to come underneath here, and we're just going to do 2 additional rows. The first row is going to want to be 2 shorter on each side than the row just above it, so miss 2 off the end. If you want, you can mark it out, 1, 2, and then just go all the way to the right, and of course miss 2 off the right end as well, so that'll be 1, 2. Throw the black in there. So the first row, as I said, 2 shorter on each side, total of 4 shorter. And then the row just beneath that just wants to be 1 shorter on each side, which should be easier to place in. However, I'll place in the purple anyway. Why not? Why not? So just 1 shorter underneath there. Let me show you what that should look like. There you go. It wants to look like that. And the whole general shape of the screen should look like that. And just as a point of reference, just in case you're curious, have I really done this right? Well, you'll know, if you've done it right, if the screen is 2 blocks away from the bottom outline. And the same goes for the top, of course. It wants to be 2 away. And we've just got a little bit more to do with the screen. So on the left and right hand side, we've just got another row to add in, just to give it a bit of a better shape. So this is what you want to do essentially. The row that's going to go on the outside of the left-hand side of the screen, and the right, of course, but I'm doing it on the left first. It wants to be 3 shorter. It wants to be 3 away from the top of the row to the right of it. So 1, 2, 3, and it wants to be 1 away from the bottom. So I may have explained that badly. However, when I show it you, it may make some sense. So as you can see, it is 3 away from the top, you know, in correlation to the right row, and 1 away from the bottom in correlation to the right. Correlation may not be the right word, but I frankly don't care. So that's what you want to have there, and you want to do the same thing on the other side as well. So coming over to this other side, just giving shape to the screen, 1, 2, 3 away from the top, take out your black, throw in your black wall, and you want to make it 1 away from the bottom, just shorter by 1, giving you something which should look, if we can zoom out a little faster, which should look a little bit like that. And it's, you know what, the screen's looking overpowering at the moment, but once it's coloured in, it's actually not going to, look that bad. So, I may even use the word good, not look that bad. I think it will look good. So, pause that if necessary, make sure you've done that. Once you have, we can start putting the buttons in. We're really getting on our way, guys. We've just got the buttons in the little speaker part, and then a bit of colouring in, then we'll be done. Doesn't that sound fantastic? Anyway, let me see. We're starting on the left-hand side. Let's not kid ourselves. It's always the left. So starting on the left, and I think we will start with the D-pad. So here's the easiest way to figure out where this is going to be. On the row that we've just done right here, you want to be in line with the top black here, and you want to, with your purple, it'll be easiest if you use purple or whatever colour, you want to mark out 5 going left of that top black. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You then want to take out your light grey, and you're going to do a row of 4 light grey just underneath this 5th purple. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to the left of that row of 4 that you have, you want to do another row of 4, like so. You then want to extend out the 2 middle blocks on the right hand side here, and on the left hand side, giving you the D-pad, the directional pad. I only just figured out what D-pad actually stood for a little while ago. Pretty proud of myself. So that's what you want to have. It wants to be positioned there. If you want to see where it lines up in comparison to the bumper, there you go. Pause that if necessary. That's where the little pad wants to be. Once you've done that, you're going to want to come down here. We're going to be adding in the select and start button. Is it on the left hand side? It is. It is on this at least. So you want to take out your purple wool, and from the bottom this time of our most outer row of black that we've basically just done, we're going to go left of this bottom black by 3. So 1, 2, 3, with your purple again, of course, just easier to mark it out. Then on top of the 3rd purple, you're going to want to do 2 light grey going up. You're then going to want to do 2 light grey next to your 2 light grey to give you a little square like that. You then want to do 2 purple on top of your 2 light grey. You then want to do pretty much the exact same thing on top of the purple with your light grey. You just want to do a little tiny square. So you want to have something which should look like that, and they're just the 2 buttons. I'm pretty sure that's the start and the select. At least I hope it's the start and the select. I hope I haven't made that up. So that's what you want to have in that position. Let me just show you this left hand side, what it wants to look like once it's all done, where it should all be. There you go. That's a nice little view. So pause that if necessary. That is the left hand side of our Game Boy. We just have to go over to the right hand side now, do the speaker, throw in the buttons, and then we get to colour in. I love colouring in. So I'm not sure if I said it, but I'm going to say it again. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, you're going to want to come over to your right hand side here. And we'll start with the speaker first, shall we? So you're going to want to, starting from the bottom here, you're going to want to find... Never mind, I was going to say you want to find this little single black on its own, the first one. I was wrong. You want to find the block just left of it, so you want to be on the 3rd black block here. You can see where I am. And you want to take out your purple, and you want to do 2 purple going directly up on top of that block. You then want to take out your dark grey wool. You're going to want to place a dark grey. You're then going to want to do an upright diagonal with your dark grey, followed by another upright diagonal, one to the right, and then another upright diagonal. And what you basically want to do, after you've done that, so you can see where that's positioned, and I know it's getting dark, but I just want to do this, it'll be really quick. So once you've done that, as you can see where it's positioned, your 3 upright diagonal dark greys, 1 to the right, upright diagonal. What you want to do on top of that is pretty much the exact same, you want to do the exact same thing, except 1 block higher. So just place purple on top of all of your dark grey like that, and then place dark grey on top of the purple. Then, once you've done that, do that exact same thing again. Place purple on top of your dark grey, and then dark grey on top of your purple. And that will be the entire speaker. I'm not sure why I said it like that, entire. And that's what you want to have there. It's a little dark, but you guys should understand how to do that. I'm going to come back once it's light again, and I'll show you what I've done. It's very easy. I rushed through it a little bit, but as I said, you should have no trouble whatsoever, so I'll be back in a second. So there you go, that's what you want to have for the speaker. Literally just woke up. And as I've said many times before, and I'm going to make that excuse again, I'm trying to get you the best view possible by getting as close as possible, but I have to kind of guess what you guys see, as I see a slightly more zoomed in version than you guys will see. I don't know why. It's the capture software, don't blame me. Blame Arcsoft or whatever the thing's called. So that's where the speaker wants to be. Very easy to do. As you can see on the first diagonal going right, like the upright diagonal, then you went 2. On top of the third block, just 2 purple up, and then that little pattern. Throw purple on top of the pattern, then throw on dark grey, purple again. Dark grey should be very easy. I've probably lingered on this too long, to be honest. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can move on to the other buttons. So for this, you're going to want to come to the top of our Game Boy here, just where this bumper is. And you're going to want to be underneath this block here. You can see where I am, I don't need to explain that. There's the big row of 16 on the second up left diagonal. Take out your purple. And underneath that diagonal that I've just described, you're going to want to go down 4 with your purple. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, left of that 4th purple block, you're going to want to do 2 light grey. Then you're going to want to do 2 light grey underneath your light grey, whilst you have some light grey. Then, you're going to want to... Easiest way to do this, underneath the bottom left-hand light grey block of your little button, that is the A button. Or is it the B button? Now, A button's on the right, I'm almost positive. So, underneath your A button, you're just going to want to do 1 purple there, then 2 purple going left. So, 3 purple right there underneath your 4 light grey. And then underneath these 2 purple going left, you're just going to want to do 2 light grey underneath, and then 2 light grey underneath that. Just to give you 2 little light grey buttons. Those instructions may not have even made sense. I'm just thinking what I said. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what I say. It's very easy to do regardless. As long as you did the 4 purple in the top right hand corner there, and then followed me along from there, you'll do just fine, kid. So you're going to want to have those 2 buttons there, and let me show you what you want for the whole right hand side. There you go, that's what you want for the whole right-hand side of your Game Boy. That is pretty much finito once you've done that. Pause that if necessary, of course. Let me show you the whole thing as I dramatically move to the left. So that's what you want for your whole Game Boy. It's actually extremely easy, as I should have mentioned at the beginning. I usually record the beginnings after I do this. As I will mention in the beginning, in which case, now that I've reminded myself, very easy to do. That's all you want to have. All we have to do now is just fill in the screen. I've got nothing special planned for the screen, although I may mess about with it a little bit whilst I'm gone. All I'm going to do from here is fill in the middle section of the screen in completely with white, and I am just going to fill everywhere else in with purple, just colouring in the lines. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's going to take a little while. See you after the break. Alright, so this is what your Game Boy should look like once it's been completely coloured in. It should just be entirely purple everywhere that's not the screen, and the screen should just be completely white. Unless, of course, you guys had the exact same idea that I did and decided to throw in a nice old-fashioned 8-bit Pokemon trainer, and can you guys tell what that little black and yellow blob is following him? Well, that's supposed to be Pikachu. It would be Pikachu if the screen was ever so slightly bigger. I kind of wish the whole thing was a bit bigger, to be honest with you, just so I could fit more on the screen. But, you know, you deal with the hand that you're dealt. I kind of dealt it myself as well since I built it. But, you know, that's not here nor there. My first instinct was to go with something Mario-based. I kind of wanted to throw the Mario mushroom on there, the nice old power-up. But that kind of fell through, it's too big. So is a Yoshi egg. And many other ideas, and I kind of got to the point of giving up, and then I decided Ash will fit on there. Ash will almost definitely fit on there. And he does! And Pikachu does not fit on there. That's a third of a Pikachu at best, but it's pretty cool. Let me get you a little closer, just in case you guys want to copy it. So let me. There you go. That's probably the best view I can get. I don't want to get too close. There you go. You can probably copy that if you wanted to. Of course, if you want a nice big picture of Ash and Pikachu together, the 8-bit versions, of course, you would quite simply go to Google Images and type in, quotations begin here, 8-bit Ash and Pikachu, end quotations, and you would be completely fine with that. You type that in, hit enter, and it will come up, and you'll get a nice big picture, nice little schematics on how you'd make those and throw them in where you want. And of course I just threw in my own grass and some nice light blue sky there. And it's came out pretty well, I think. Let me go back to the whole picture. As I said, pretty much everything else fell through. I thought that I was going to have to go with white, but then whilst I was filling it in with white, I suddenly thought of Ash and Pikachu and figured out why not. That's what I kind of like about these. I know I'm rambling on here, but this is the end of the video. Tutorial over. If you want to leave, thank you for watching and see you. Continuing on, that's what I kind of like about these. I'm not sure if you guys caught my Game Boy Color, which is significantly bigger than this is. It's pretty recent. You'd be able to find it in my recent history. I like that, and I kind of like what I did with that. I threw a nice 8-bit Mario in there, jumping up towards the little mystery crate. That was cool. And I like this. That's what I like about these. I've got a load of these. I've got a DS, an SP, if you guys remember those. I've got a PSP, and the cool part is definitely throwing something on the screen. I mean, they're cool anyway. My original has like a completely blank white screen, and I like it just fine. I like them all lined up next to each other, but I'm kind of like that. But I definitely like this one better. With something cool on the screen like that, or at least cool to me, of course, it makes all the difference. So that's a tutorial over. I've not really got any alternate ideas for these. As in my recent tutorials, I've been throwing in alternate ideas, like alternate colour patterns and stuff, but there's really a limiting amount of what you can actually put on that screen. It's quite small, unfortunately, so that's probably the best idea I have. I don't have any better ones, and then you can just mess about with the colour of the actual Game Boy, although purple is probably the best idea. I know that two colours I know they actually released at the time, and of course you could just make it whatever colour you fancy. If you want it red, make it red. But I wanted to go something true to actual design, and again, I'm not sure if they made more colours than these. I was aware of a purple one, a black one, and like a see-through-y sort of one. So, there you go. Black wouldn't have worked because it would have melded into the outline, and the see-through one would not have looked good. I would have probably ended up using something like glass and putting stuff behind it so you could see the circuitry and stuff, but I don't think it would have looked good. But there you go, I've rambled on for ages now, I apologise. That is the entire tutorial. Thank you for watching, I hope it was easy enough to follow, and see you in the next one. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe you should think about subscribing. I have plenty more stuff like this on my channel. I have tutorials ranging from YouTube statues, skin statues, houses, pixel art, the list goes on. Thanks for watching.